Solving a Rubik's Cube can seem really difficult at first if you just played around with it and maybe got two edges but never actually finished it. It can seem so difficult to solve one. But actually, it's not that difficult, it's quite simple. So hopefully today I'll be able to talk through how to solve it and I'll be able to teach you. It will be hard, but make sure you've got Rubik's Cube and join along. We'll solve this in a few ways. We'll solve it starting with the cross, then we will insert the corners followed by the edges. We will then orientate the last layer and permute the last layer. We'll have each section timestamped below with a tutorial. So I now have my Rubik's Cube all scrambled up, and step one is to create a white cross. Don't look at the corners, look at these edges. Here I notice I've got one already. However, the key bit is I want the colours to match up. I want this centrepiece to match the colour on the edge. So I want to move that along and put it here into blue. Now I look for an edge along the bottom with white like this. Not one of these because this is a corner and it's got three colours. I want an edge with two colours. Here I've got white and orange, so I want to bring this along underneath the orange face with the orange centre. Now I rotate it up and inserted it. One thing you can get though is this. This is a flipped edge, so the way we do this is I want to rotate it down here to the right. Now I want to bring the U face along one and insert this up to the top. That way we've got our cross, and we just restore this back with a U move like such. Sometimes though you'll look down at the bottom and it's not here, it's in the middle section. So to sort this, I can bring it down, slide it out of the way and fix this bit of the cross and then solve it like normal. The next step is to insert the corners into the white bits, and they need to go between the correct centres, not like this one here is. So I look on the bottom layer for a piece like this. I've got a white piece and this is orange and blue, so I want to bring that between this orange and blue face. Now I want to do this series of moves. So bring the right face down, I'm going to bring a D prime, and the right face up and down. It's inserted it, but it's not correct. So I take it out using those set of moves, try it again, but it's not correct. So I try it again, and it's incorrect. So I've got it again here with the red and the green, which happens to be in the correct location. So I do the series of moves I just showed you until it is in correctly like this. Now I have orange and green, so I bring it below where it needs to go and do those moves. Finally finishing with the red and the blue. And that we now have the first layer done and a white face complete. The third step is to do the second layer, which is inserting each of the edges. So for this I now want to flip my cube upside down, and before I want to show you a few moves that are very important and come in a lot of algorithms. So this is where we bring the right face up, slide the top face along, and the right face down, and the up face back down again. I want to make sure we know that, as that will come in important in our next step. So we want to look for edges in our top layer that do not have yellow on, as yellow is not a side here. So here I've got a blue and an orange. Now I want to make sure that these colours match up. So here I've got orange on the front sticking outwards, and I want to connect that with the orange face. And I need to look where it goes, which here is the blue, so it needs to go right. So step one of inserting the edge is to move the edge away. Now use the moves I just showed you. I want to take out the corner with our right hand, and we do the mirror of the moves I just showed you, inserting it with our left hand. And we look for another edge. Here I've got the red and the green, so I match it up and look where it needs to go, which is to the right. So I move it away, take the corner out with the moves I showed you, and bring it back in with the moves I showed you. I look for another edge piece. Here I've got red and blue. This time it doesn't go to the right, it goes to the left. So it's matched up and I move it away. Now I take it out with my left hand and I put it back in with my right. And I do the same here again. I move it away, take it out, and I put it back in. Now we're on to our second to last step. Here I need to orient the last layer, so I look for edges and I want to create a yellow cross. Here I have a hook. There are 3 cases you can come with. I'll start on case 1. This is case 1, a dot with no edges. I want to ignore the corners and I see there are no edges, so I want to do the face move again. Now I want to do a series of moves I showed you earlier, R, U, R prime, U prime, and I want to fix that face move. And here it's giving me a little hook, so I want that to go into the top left like that, and I do the series of moves I showed you, face, R, U, R prime, U prime, and fix the face move. Here is what I want. I've now got a row, so I do this from any section. However, make sure it's not like this. I want the row to be sideways. So I do face, R, U, R prime, U prime, and fix the face. Now I have a cross, ignoring the corners. Now what we need to do is we need to get all the corners orientated, so yellow is facing up. To do this, we'll use one algorithm that we will repeat. So first bit is to make sure there is a non-orientated yellow piece in the bottom left. Now I want to do this set of moves. And here I've moved on. So I want to put another non-orientated piece in the bottom left and do those moves again until I eventually get a fish. It might take some time, but you just cycle through the moves. Eventually you get a fish like this, where you got the tails and the head. Doesn't look much like a fish, but we call it a fish. So I want to put the head of the fish in the bottom left. Now I want to do those moves again, and if like me, you can sometimes get another fish. However, here I've got a yellow point in me, so I do the moves once more and it fixes it all, and they're all yellow up. Here we are nearly done, and we are on our last step to solving the Rubik's Cube. So what I want to look for are 2 corners like this, and we are then going to permute this last layer. So I want 2 correct corners like this, where you see 2 of the same colours, 2 blues. Now I want to do this algorithm where I run right face down, bring that up, bring the right face down again, and do the back twice. Now I want to push that back down here again so that I can fix that. I bring this face back up again, and I sort that, push that back to the bottom, and I have a bar. Now I bring that to the bottom again. Here I should have more correct corners. If you do not have any correct corners, do that algorithm from anywhere and then do that step again, and you should be back to somewhere like this. So now again, we're not looking at any of these bottom bits that are here. Now all I want to look at are the edges. So ideally we should have one complete side back here with 3 edges that need cycle. So to do this, what I do is I put the correct face at the back. Now I want to flip the front face upside down, doing an F2. Now I look which one needs to go here. So here it's a blue. Now I place that over the top like this. If blue is here, I bring this side over. But as it's here, I want blue on top. So I now want to do an M prime move and push it up here and rotate it and bring it back down. Here I now want to correct the white and the row, and you solve it like this. Now your cube is solved. If you do not have any correct sides like I did, sometimes you might have something like this where you've got no correct sides. So what you do is you do that move from anywhere, doesn't matter what you're inserting, but now I've got one correct side and I can do the last step that I just did. So your cube is now solved. Hopefully you've learned how to solve the Rubik's Cube, and if you did, that's great, and I'm glad that I could help you. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe.